Hello and welcome back to Libib's channel. My name is Kaylin and today I'm going to be giving you guys another new video, and that video is going to be over a book review of Slasher Girls and Monster Boys by April Genevieve Tuchel with 13 other authors. I ended up rating this book 3 out of 5 stars. So today's video I thought I would just talk about all my thoughts, feels, and opinions, views of each individual story, which there are 14, so let's get to it. The first story is called Birds of Azalea Street. I ended up rating the first story 2 out of 5 stars, and the reason why I rated it 2 out of 5 stars was it wasn't scary or thrilling, and I could see like a comparison to like the Birds movie, and it was weird, but I didn't really care for it. It was okay. The second story, In the Forest of Dark and Deep, I rated this 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was a dark, creepy, haunting sort of tale that had this Alice in Wonderland aspect, and it freaked me out. It gave me all these scary feels, and that's why I enjoyed that one so much. It was good. I really liked that one. This third story was Emmeline, and I ended up rating this 1 out of 5 stars because this short story had romance, and I didn't care for it. It wasn't scary, creepy, horrifying, or anything at all. It was stupid, and I just did not like it. The fourth story, Chorus Verse, was creepy, messed up, and not okay. Like, I liked one aspect of the story where we get this insight where this place is at, and it's just creepy, haunting, and like the lady and everything in charge was just so messed up. But the other half of the book was just like, okay, this is messed up, it's just, okay, why is this necessary? And like the ending was like, okay, but I really wanted more. I ended up rating that story 4 out of 5. The fifth story was Hide and Seek, and by the title you think hide and seek in a horror, thriller, suspense novel, you think it's gonna be scary and good, but this just lacked all that. I rated it 2 out of 5 stars. It just wasn't my cup of tea. The sixth story is the dark, scary parts and all, and I ended up rating this story 4 out of 5. The ending was just completely messed up. It definitely reminded me of The Merciless by Daniel Vega, which I absolutely love, and it is my favorite YA horror thriller novel of all time right now, and oh, it just reminded me of that, and it just gave me good vibes, and I liked this story. I liked it a lot. The seventh story was The Flicker, The Fingers, The Beat, The Sigh, and I ended up rating this 4 out of 5 stars as well. Even though this story wasn't scary, I still enjoyed it a lot for some reason. So that's why I ended up rating it 4 out of 5 stars. The eighth story was That Girl with a Knife, which I ended up rating this 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked this story. This story was good, and the reason why it was so good was funny humor aspect, and at the end of the story it tells you what the story was inspired by, and it was inspired by Zombieland, and I definitely saw those aspects in the story, and that's why I liked this one a lot. The ninth story that received 5 out of 5 stars out of this entire collection, this one was my favorite. It was titled Sleepless, and the reason why I loved this one so much was it was absolutely awesome. It was weird, it was strange, it was royally screwed up, it was so messed up, and that's why I loved it so much. And it was definitely my favorite of the collection. The 10th story was titled M, and I rated this 2 out of 5 stars. I didn't feel connected with the character, the plot, the anything that was really going on. I didn't care for it. Many verse or song chunks that they had throughout the piece, I did like that though. The 11th story was A Girl Without a Face, and I ended up rating this 4 out of 5 stars, and I liked this one. This story talks about how a boy forces himself onto a girl, and in the end, this girl ended up dying, and so she comes back and kind of haunts him, and revenge, that's what you get. Even though it was a dark subject, it was good. It was a good story. The 12th story was like one of my least liked stories out of the entire collection, and that was A Girl Who Dreamed of Snow. I ended up rating this 1 out of 5, and gosh, it was just bad. I just did not care for it. The characters, the plot, the setting, the whatever was happening, and then like at the end, the ending was just it was a hot mess. I did not like that piece. The 13th story was titled Stitches, and I rated that 4 out of 5 stars, and it was just good. I liked it because it talks about stitching things up back together, and it was just interesting to see where things were going. I really liked the titles of each little part in the story, and I found it very interesting. Scary, yes, and that's why I enjoyed it. And the 14th story was titled On the I-5, and this book rated 4 out of 5 stars. Second favorite out of the entire collection. It was just weird, and it was creepy, and like truck stops and dumpsters, and just what goes down at the end of the story is just so like why. That was so gross and so weird, and just loved that story. Loved it. Really good. The average rating that I came up with was 3 stars out of 5. While I really liked and enjoyed some kind of were just meh and some fell flat. Anyways, have you guys read Slasher Girls and Monster Boys? What are your thoughts, feels, and opinions? Don't forget to leave a comment in the box down below. And anyways, that is it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time with a new video.